All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. I'm your host, Natalia, and this is episode three. It should be. It's a beautiful day here in sunny California. Weather's actually getting warmer here. If any of you are in the Los Angeles area, you can see that we had some super bipolar weather. It's kind of been like cold, and then it's been hot, and then it's been cold, and now it's getting warm again. So hopefully it stays warm. If not, like, just do something. Don't confuse us. But yeah. So what are we gonna talk about today? I don't really have I kind of had like an outline thing last episode, but this episode I'll be winging it. Things I thought about talking about. Okay, so I think the first topic, since it's very first thing that's coming to my mind, is letting go. No, not letting go. Making peace with your past. Making peace with your past is also a form of letting go. Yeah, I think making peace with your past, it's very important, guys. And I mean, like, I'm sure you've heard it before, but this is definitely an important step in healing for yourself if you're looking to just release. I mean, if you're not looking to release, you should be, because what you hold within you stays within your energy field, whether you're aware of it or not, and it dictates how you live, your actions, your words, your thoughts, all your past experiences, your traumas, all of that is held within you, and it definitely alters your how you are in the present moment if you don't make peace with those things and release them. So I think that this is a very important thing. Maybe I can get into how to release this, and it's very funny because I'm gonna say a very personal thing, and then kind of related to something that somebody wrote to me, like within I don't know if they wrote to me the same day, but I read it within the same day, which is very funny. Okay, so I'll start by saying I had an ex-boyfriend. We broke up last year. It was like very recent, but I mean, like, last year isn't very recent, but I mean, to me it's still very recent. And it didn't end well, just because I was very hurt and I was just super upset. So I was definitely like reflecting that I was reflecting that onto how things ended, and it didn't end well just because I was still very upset. And for the months following, I mean, it was mostly me just trying to find myself again, because throughout the whole relationship I felt like I was trying to stick to myself, but then also at the same time you have to consider your partner as well. And I feel like maybe I might have considered him too much, and kind of didn't really get to be myself. So I spent the next months, getting to know myself again, learning to love myself again. And and then I that was just like my form of just getting back with myself. And then but I still had these feelings towards him, like upset feelings. So like I even talked about this to my coworker. She's like my best friend, and I was saying, yeah, if I would like run into him on the street, I'd like completely ignore him and act super happy, but I was happy because I was like by myself and being myself again, but like just like to show him that I'm extra happy without him, kind of thing. And that was kind of the mentality I had for months afterward, which wasn't, I wouldn't say it's not healthy, but it's just, it wasn't productive in releasing it. But I knew that it was a process, so I wasn't very pushing myself to heal from it. I was giving myself some time. And then then as months went by, I already started in a new relationship, which wasn't planned or anything, but my boyfriend now, he's very understanding and stuff. We had conversations about my past relationship, and that was also a really good help in the healing process, to talk about it, especially with my new partner. And just talking with myself about it, and kind of going through it, things that happened, things that could have been better, and just stuff like that. Not really overthinking anything, but just like kind of feeling better about the situation instead of, you know, having that angry feeling inside me. And so yeah, that happened within, like, you know, months go by or whatever. But very recently, like these past few weeks, I've been having dreams with him, my ex, and but like casual dream. But then like more around this time period, I've been being more accepting, just because, you know, I go through it every once in a while in my thoughts, like just, you know, kind of releasing feelings. And I've been doing a lot of releasing work anyways, not on that specifically, just the feeling of release and surrender. But yeah, so I guess that's why it was coming up in my dreams recently. But very casual dreams, like he was just like in the dream, nothing like upsetting or anything like that. It was just like very odd to, and I even mentioned this to my boyfriend, like, yeah, I just like, I keep having dreams with him, it's super weird. But then the other night, I think like 2 nights ago, I had a dream with him. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was kind of like me, I don't know, I think it was just like everything was okay, kind of like there was nothing wrong or anything like that. And then last night, this is what I'm talking about because it's very recent. Last night I had a dream. Oh no, and yesterday. So I told my coworker about this, and I was talking about her. I think that the dreams are a part of me releasing and healing, because now I no longer have that anger towards the relationship or him, and I felt like my boyfriend Justin also really got me through that, and then just me having the dreams and just working through it. I think that like I'm pretty much not fully healed, but like I'm over it basically. And I even said, like, if I were to run into him in the street now, I would definitely be like, well, like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, you know, I hope everything's okay. Just, you know, like, just kind of make peace, you know, make sure that there's no longer that anger there anymore. And I don't have those hard feelings towards him anymore. So I explained this to my coworker, and that happened, like, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. And then last night, I had a dream that I went over his house, and I saw his family and stuff, and I was saying goodbye to his family. And I was saying goodbye to him, and he was crying. But, like, he knew that I was already in a new relationship, and he was crying because I was happy and that, you know, we were finally letting go. And it was just kind of like a goodbye, and I was just like, you know, you don't have to cry and everything. And I do this thing, so I set an alarm at 3:33 in the morning every night, because it kind of helps creative process, you know, when you're in deep sleep. That's when your subconscious is most awake. So, like, I'll wake up at 3:33 in the morning to the alarm, and I'll write something real quick, like on my phone, like a poem or just like a quote or just like something that first comes to my mind, and I'll go back to sleep. And it's very random. I never remember what it is like the next day until I go through my notes, and I'm like, what the hell was I talking about? But so yeah, I had this dream, and then as he was crying, I was about to say, like, hey, listen, and tell him how I felt, like kind of like the ending closure conversation that you have when you break up, and that we never really got to have. So I was about to start that conversation. I'm like, hey, and tell him how I feel, but the alarm woke me up, and so I went to go write it real quick, and it was obviously about that. I don't have my phone on me right now, but it was kind of like, I hope you're forgiving me the way I forgave you. Please don't cry. I want you to be as happy as I am now. What else? Yeah, I want you to be as happy as I am now. There will always be a space for you in my heart for you to come to when in need. Thank you again and again, or something like that. Or it's just like, I release you, or something like that. And then I went to sleep super early last night, so then I kind of like stayed awake after that, and I was thinking about the dream and what I just wrote, and I was like, wow, I think this is really the end. Like, this is the final string that I need to do to release this. So what I did was, when we first broke up and I was super mad, I blocked him off of Facebook. I don't even go on Facebook, but it's for like my business connection with Instagram. And so I unblocked him from Facebook, because that was like the main way we communicated before, through like Messenger. and I wrote him like the kind of the thing I wanted to say when we first broke up, but not really. It was kind of like a mixture of how I've been feeling these past few months. And I basically just said how I felt when we first broke up, and I said I was still very hurt about the relationship, and that reflected in the way we ended things, and I'm sorry I wasn't that good of a girlfriend, and I forgive you for all the things that we went through, and stuff like that. And I told him how Haku was my cat, because she was kind of like our cat when we first got her. And then I was like, yeah, I wish you the best, everything's okay, I'm sorry, thank you, kind of thing. Like, I've learned so much from our relationship, and it's really helping me. I didn't say it's helping me in this one right now, but it is. And I was just, yeah, I learned so much, and thank you. It was just that kind of thing. And then I told him he didn't have to respond or anything, because I wasn't sure if he was going to respond. And I, like, immediately deleted the message, because, like, I overthink things, and be like, I'll just reread the message over and over again, be like, oh, is this okay, or whatever. So I just, like, deleted it, so I didn't do that. And then I kind of stayed up a little after that, and then I was like, I felt so much better after reading that message. I knew that there was gonna come a time where I would write that, or I would tell him in person or something like that. But last night at like 3 in the morning, that felt like the most perfect time. I felt that was like the final thing I needed to do, and I just felt so much better after sending that message. And I went back to sleep, and then he actually responded the next morning, and it was a very understanding message, like kind of like reciprocating the same thing, like, yeah, I'm sorry too, I also wish you the best, we just weren't really meant to be, trying to work things out. And it was very understanding kind of thing, and it was just like, it was a closed door in my life that it really needed to be closed. And I almost started crying just because I just felt so like a weight was lifted off of my shoulder, and I feel so much better, because I feel like I don't have those open ends in my life anymore, and that they won't affect me in like my relationship now, and just like any relationship with anybody, kind of like just, traumas that people have after breakups and relationships. So I'm definitely glad I released that, and I feel like this is just like, it's very important, and feeling this now, I understand how important it is for people to heal. And okay, so yeah, so let me say what happened after, right? So then, like, I don't go on Facebook, right? So then after I sent this message, I have like so many notifications on Facebook, but like they're not even like interactive notifications. It's just like, because I have the page that's linked to my Instagram and my writings, my blog. And then it's like, oh, this is how many views you got this week. This is how many likes you got this week. And just like, I'm literally not active on it at all. So like, those were just all the notifications. And then one of the notifications was somebody who wrote to me on, not like my personal Facebook, but wrote to my page account, the Natalia account. That's literally what it's just called, Natalia. And they found my book, the one that I mentioned in my last episode, the one that I'm going to be releasing a new version of soon. They found my book on Wattpad, and they wrote to me on Facebook, which is so rare, because usually people like message me on Wattpad, because you can do that. Like, if you like the book, you can message the person, the author. But they found me on Facebook, and they messaged my page on Facebook, and they said like that I read your book, and it helped me so much. And this is so recent. I don't remember when they wrote this message, but I literally saw this within like the same hour that I sent this message to my ex. And they're like, your book helped me so much. I recently going through a breakup, a separation, and I'd really like to know your advice on how I can heal from this and remain positive instead of just missing my partner and being sad. And I was like, what the heck? Like, literally, like, I'm just releasing this right now, and somebody's asking me for help. Like, I thought it was pretty awesome, like, the way things work like that. So I kind of just said, like, what I did, I didn't say, like, I did say that was my personal story. But, I told them that the best way to stop, to, like, since the separation is very recent, And okay, you can like literally take this advice too. Like if you're going through a breakup or separation, like very recently, this is kind of what I told them. This is my advice to you and to them. Was all the emotions that you have right in that moment of the separation and the breakup, like you could either be mad like I was very upset, I was hurt, if you're sad, just all those emotions that you're feeling, feel them. Do not try to block them out with being positive, trying to look at like broader horizons. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but like right now you need to feel what you're feeling. So I told them, like, you know, if you need to cry, if you need to hit something, I mean, don't do it too hard, hit a pillow or something like that, but just express those feelings, like journal them, just do whatever you feel like you need to do to literally bask in those feelings. And kind of when you get put up with that, when you've reached them and you're like, oh, okay, now what? Sit with yourself. Sit down, be alone, go inside. And I mean this by literally just sitting with yourself and listening to yourself. What do you have to say in your head, you know? How are you feeling? What are you thinking about right now? Be with yourself. Spend some time alone. You know, you want to spend time with friends, but like don't preoccupy yourself with outer things. You really need to be with yourself and know yourself in order to release these kind of things. So I said, spend some time alone, you know, go out, do the things you love. That's what I did. I spent a lot of time exercising. I started doing yoga. I was like doing intense workouts, shopping, freaking like dressing up every day, doing my hair, like just like being like loving myself. Learn to love yourself. And that's what I said. You need to be with yourself, find out what you want, find out what you love, find out what you like, and do them. Just learn to love yourself again, basically. Treat yourself right. Just spoil yourself, literally, and appreciate yourself for going through what you're going through right now, and tell yourself that it's okay. You know, you're with yourself now. You'll take care of yourself. And that's basically what I said. That's what I said that I did. And when you learn to love yourself again, and you know yourself and you know what you want, then you realize you don't need another partner, you know? Well, not that you don't need another partner, but you don't need somebody else, you know, to feel that happiness that you feel when you're with yourself. Like doing all this stuff can be done when you're alone. You don't need, you know, external people or things to make you feel that happy. And yeah, so I said that. And what else? Yeah, I said think about all the qualities that you loved in your partner. Maybe it was like, oh, their sense of humor, you know, they liked going out for adventures a lot, they liked doing this, they liked doing that, whatever it is, and find those qualities in yourself. So like, you're like, oh, I miss the way that they did this, or that we used to do this. Like, do it with yourself, you know, find that inside of yourself, so that you can appreciate yourself as much as you appreciated that person. You know, I watch a YouTuber, his name's Vishuddhadas, or Koi Fresco, and he had a video called why true love doesn't exist, or something like that. And this is something I heard from somebody else too. I hear them from multiple people. It's that when you find that person that you feel like you love so much, you know, your partner, and you're just like, that's your true mate, like your true mate, your soulmate. You're not falling in love. That's why falling in love doesn't exist. It's just like, you're not falling in love with them or something like that. It's like you're falling in love. They're showing you how to love yourself or something like that. It's something like that. I don't know, but it was just like, you're not falling in love with them. They're teaching you how to fall in love with yourself, kind of thing. But then like I feel like I don't really agree with that. I mean, like I kind of agree that they teach you how to love, right? They bring out that in you, but then like you also love like a person too. Like you love how they are, and like maybe that's not in you or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I said I find those qualities in yourself. This is something I agree with, and learn to love those qualities in yourself as well. And I think that was pretty much it. I was like, then once you learn to love yourself, then you can, over time, like I did, like you'll heal on your own, whatever it is. Like mine's mostly like through dreams and having conversations with my new partner and just kind of working it out with myself. That was kind of my own method afterwards. It will happen over time. It wasn't anything forced that I did. It wasn't anything that was like, oh, I have to release this, and I thought about like a lot. It was just something that happened gradually, like without my intent. Like I knew I had to release it, but I knew it was gonna happen when it should. And that's exactly what I said. Once you learn to do that, and you know you can be with yourself, then you will heal in whatever way that is, that you'll eventually let go. And I was like, that was it. I was like, yeah, thanks for reaching out. But I thought that was super cool. Writing that right after I had just did this whole like release message. It was awesome. But yeah, so that was that. So letting go. I feel like this is a very big part of healing. There are a lot of methods of healing. That's my method for breakups, I would say, and separations. But I think it's very important for healing, especially if you're trying to become the greatest version of yourself. You want to release things that no longer serve you. That's a big thing. But yeah, I feel like this also ties in with growing up, kind of something I want to talk about. It's not like, oh, I have to grow up, so I have to release this. It's just like, not a lot of people don't grow up. You don't want to be like immature about situations, kind of. But at first you're going to be immature because you're hurt and you're sad, and you're going to go back to that child self that's always within you, and that's just kind of in there crying and hurt. It's going to come out in backlash in the external reality. So but that's just also something you have to heal as well, and then you can kind of move out of that childlike mindset and into a more observant kind of logical reasoning. But yeah, so growing up, this is something I struggled with when I realized that I'm growing up. And this was actually last year. Last year kind of coming into... No, not last year. The year before. Yeah, the year before, and then coming into last year. And it was when I finally moved out to California, and I moved out here with my ex, but it was just kind of like I was on my own, I didn't have any family. I moved from New York, so like everybody I know is on the East Coast, and I felt more independent, and well, I had to be, but it was also something that I couldn't really deal with. I mean, like, it wasn't like I was like acting out or anything like that, but I would get emotional about a lot of things to myself, and like kind of emotional over like child things that I liked when I was younger and stuff, just because I was still kind of grasping on, and I don't know if I still am. Maybe it's something I'm still healing, but it's not as predominant as it was back then. But there's this song. I don't think I can play it because I don't have like the person's permission or anything, but if you want to look it up, it's called Hazel by Roy Blair. And I heard the song on Spotify, and I love him now, but from this song. And the beginning lines is hold on, I'm trying to think of it. Basically he's saying that his mom was diagnosed with cancer, and that his brother was crying, but if she died, who would keep the cat? And then he was like, I don't know why death would affect me like that, but it did, because my mom still lives, but my cat died where my childhood did, where my innocence did, or where my innocence lives, on this street, something. He was like, and I miss my bunk beds and the sunsets and the old friends and the dead ends, even when I didn't have a reason to smile, but I still did love songs. And then it's just like that kind of, when I first heard that song, I started crying, like, because it's such, like, you have that, like, fuck, there's, I mean, there's still playtime now, there's always playtime, you're just here to play, but, like, back when you didn't have to worry about anything, when you're still in school, all you have to do, like, your main worries was, like, an upcoming test and, like, homework and just very simple stuff like that. Now, paying bills, how you're gonna eat, where you're gonna live, just survival kind of stuff, what are you gonna do with your future? Nothing bombarding like that. And it was, all of that stuff was very bombarding to me at that time. And when I heard that song, I just wanted to go back to a simpler time, where I didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff, where I can just, I moved around a lot when I was younger, so, like, I think about, like, old friends that I had, even though, like, we're not friends. I have so many friends that I'm not friends with anymore. But at the time, when we were kids, we were good friends. We would, like, play after school and, like, the weekends and parties and sleepovers. And it was just, like, very nostalgic times and things that really still remain deep within me, that I appreciate so much and I love. And that's just, it really got to me, those lines. Because, like, now I'm at the point where, like, I've experienced so much. I've experienced so much hurt, so much, life-changing things. Just a lot of, like, hard stuff that's hard to deal with, especially as a kid. And, you don't really grow up until you come to terms with these things and learn to release them and learn how to actually live your life based on I guess whatever it is that you're doing now or whatever. But when I came out here, I guess I still very much had that kid mindset, because like over a year ago I was still living with my parents, I was still going to high school. So, like, I wasn't relying on myself for food. I wasn't relying on myself for money, for shelter. No, it was just, I was kind of just living. And then so it was just me, like thinking about jobs, wanting to move, and then, like, it was just so much. And I felt like it was really hard for me to come to terms with growing up. And I actually I wrote a poetry collection on Wattpad, if you guys want to check it out. It's called what is it called? 21 and Not Even Close. 21 and Not Even Close. Is that the one that I wrote? I think that was the one that I did. Some of the poems have to do with growing up and me still wanting to be a kid, And I released this poetry collection on my 21st birthday, And it's kind of coming to terms with the fact that I'm growing up and I need to release, this kind of how do I say, rejection that I'm having towards growing up, denial, I guess, and then also fulfilling my mission, which at the time I was just like, oh, I have to gain enlightenment for some reason. So it was coming to terms with, my bigger mission that I need to fulfill for whatever reasons they may be, and then also coming to terms with I'm not a little child anymore, even though I have that inner child, and we all do. But it's a really good poetry collection. I really like. It's very personal to me. So if you want to check it out, it's called 21 and Not Even Close on Wattpad, WATTPAD. But yeah, other than that, growing up is tough, but I feel like for all young adults, it's something we need to come to terms with, and understand that we will have that inner child within us that we always need to communicate with, just because it's within us, and it's gonna also dictate how we react towards things. If we're gonna react towards it in a childlike way, or if we're gonna, kind of be more grown up about it. And definitely changes the way we react to our external circumstances. So I feel like letting go is very much a big part of growing up. And I also feel like growing up is a process, especially around my age now. I'm gonna be 22 in June, and just anyone who's in their early mid-20s, you know, even late 20s, people are still, even early 30s, still acting out this this kind of childish ways and not coming to terms with their life now. So I think that we need to integrate our childlike state into a more stable and grounded way of life now, so that we can still have that not so much caring, you know, not overthinking into things, still have that playful way of life, that personality, that you can still have fun and enjoy life and enjoy the small things, but while also staying grounded in your reality, you know, feeding yourself, clothing yourself, just keeping a roof over your head. I think that bringing all of this into a full circle definitely completes a well-rounded civilian. But yeah, I think yeah, those two are definitely interrelated in a way, and they're definitely two big parts of releasing and becoming a better version of us, so that we can help others become better versions of them as well. And I think that's it for today, guys. I really enjoyed talking about this. It was very free flow, and yeah, I'm excited. Oh, so the one interview that I was supposed to do with the YouTube guy got rescheduled, so just stay updated for that. It'll just come up whenever. I'm not really gonna set any dates. Still doing the interview with my friend. I'll be on his podcast, I guess, next month or something like that, and then he'll be on my podcast sooner or later. What else? My book is coming out very soon. I just received the cover art today, so I just got to do some editing, you know, add the title, stuff like that, and publish it. So stay tuned. Follow my Instagram if you haven't already. That's Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. If you want to follow my blog, I'm doing blog posts every Monday. I didn't do a poem this Wednesday just because I posted art on my Instagram on Wednesday, and I was just like, this makes up for the poem. So like, I guess I'll just be making art on Wednesdays. I'll either make art or poem. Well, I mean, poetry is art, but I'll just be doing anything creative on Wednesdays. I'm also thinking about doing art walk on Thursdays if you're from the Los Angeles area, specifically the downtown Los Angeles area. Art walk is every second Thursday of the month, and every second Thursday of the month, yeah. And it's kind of just like a whole bunch of vendors and tables set up of people selling their art and stuff. So I'm gonna be selling a whole bunch of stuff, some zines, some new ones that I'm working on. I just released also a bunch of bookmarks that I made on my blog as well, my store. So if you go on the blog, it's the writings of Natalia.wordpress.com, and there's like a store tab that you can go on, and then it'll lead you to an external store website that you can buy the bookmarks, and also the Diary of a Bodhisattva, which is my other zine, well, my first zine, my only zine, I think. So yeah, just released a bunch of bookmarks. I might be doing art walk soon, so stay updated for that. Follow the blog so you can kind of get some personal writings on Mondays, and then follow my Instagram for some stuff on Wednesdays, and then yeah, that should be it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm noticing more and more people listening, and I love it so much. Please DM me either Instagram